my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek at Comic-Con at Home. I'm with Jason Snyder from GameRight, and you've brought us a game with a lovely alliterative title, Abandon All Artichokes.
Yes, a heartless card game. One of my favorite taglines.
Yeah, that's
but it fits so perfectly to this game on another number of levels. So this is a for those in the inside who know, this is like my first deck builder. Or as we call it, a deck wrecker. It's got elements of deck building in it, but it's really about wrecking your deck. You start off with a hand of nothing but artichokes, 10 to be exact. And if along the course of the game, you can draw a 5-card hand with no artichokes, you win the game. It's that easy. Or so it should be that easy. But you'll see as the game progresses, it's a little trickier than that. But in essence, that's really it. You're gonna be drawing cards from your own hand. You're gonna be discarding cards to your own personal discard pile. You're gonna be composting cards. To the left of the garden row, you're gonna have the garden deck. And then to the left of the garden deck, we can't see it yet, but that's gonna be your community compost pile. So anything that gets composted will go out of the game for the rest of the game. Then each player's got their 5-card hand face down in front of them. You can see this is our hand here. And to start a turn, it's very simple. Look at the available cards in the garden and harvest one. Put one directly into your hand. So draw a 5-card hand, exactly to start your turn. That's your deck. Draw 5 cards from your deck. Then harvest the cards. Let's do that broccoli. We talked about it earlier. Pick the broccoli up and put it into your hand. It goes right in immediately. Yep. And now you can play all of the action cards in your hand. Well, at the beginning of the game, there's only one action card that we've got, which is that broccoli. So you play the broccoli right in front of you. Put it face up in front of you. Yep. Do the action associated with it, which is to compost an artichoke if your hand has 3 or more artichokes. Well, show us. We got 3 or more artichokes? We sure do. So you're going to compost one, put it to the left of the garden deck. Actually, the other side. Nope. Go all the way to the other side of them. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Boom. Gone. Goodbye, artichoke. Now we only have 9 artichokes left in the game. Do we have anything else we can do in our hand? We don't. So we're going to clean up our hand by just discarding the rest of it right on top of that broccoli. And we're going to draw to end our turn, draw back up 5 cards. Nope, not from there. From your personal deck.
Yeah,
this is a
still
deck
the rest of the
artichokes.
artichokes.
Deck. Yep, so you should right into your hand. Boom. Excellent. That's the end of our turn, right there. And the next player goes by starting and filling up the garden back to 5 cards. That's when you'll reveal the top card from the garden deck. Put in there, we've got that beat. And that next player will draw 5 cards into their hand. And we know what they are because at the beginning of the game, it's all the same. And so why don't we do another, let's do potato. So that works a little bit differently. So grab the potato. Again, first thing is you harvest a card into your hand. It goes right into your hand. And then you can play that card's action. So to play, you'll put it face up in front of you. And the potato is reveal the top card of your deck. Where's your deck? It's right to the right. Nope, not your hand, your deck. Yep. Is it an artichoke? Let's see.
Oh my God,
it is! Compost it. Get it out of here. Put it in the compost pile. Gone for good. Then, can you do anything else? You cannot. Clean up your hand. Put it on top of your discard pile. Draw back up to 5 cards. And exactly, the next player goes, and so on and so forth. Each person goes around. We'll do one more hand, because I'll play one more card, which I really like. So the next player goes. Yep. And you're going to replenish the garden. Ooh, leeks. I love leeks, but I think we're going to play the beet because that's one of my favorite cards in the whole game. So the next player is going to harvest the beet. Thank you, Nikki. And the beets card is that you and an opponent are randomly going to choose cards from the opponent. So it says you and an opponent each reveal a random card and you compost them both if they're artichokes. Otherwise, you swap them. So early in the game, not the best because most likely you're going to have artichokes. So each player is going to randomly shuffle their hand face down. So you're going to pick an opponent. So Nikki, pick an opponent. And you're both going to shuffle and both reveal them at the same time. Yep, exactly. But you know it's there. Doesn't matter. And reveal them. Are they both artichokes? No. Oh my goodness. Reveal. Oh my goodness. So this is great. You would swap them in that case. In that case, potato goes up north and artichoke goes to the player who had the potato. That happens. That happens in this game. If they were both artichokes, though, they would both go into that compost pile. And this is how the game's going to cycle on over and over again. You're going to be building up, trying to optimize your hand by picking up the best vegetables that are going to do a great job of composting, giving other players cards, until that magical moment at the end of the game when you draw 5 cards and none of them are artichokes, you win the game. There it is.
Yeah, I know that the designer, Emma Larkins, had play tested this with a lot of kids, and it seemed that this is super, super kid-friendly.
Very kid-friendly. Very, I would say this is, I worked with Emma on this game for 2 years, and it was a labor of pure love because, you know, the game had me at hello. You know, she designed the game based on a name first design. So she gave a whole bunch of different names in a design diary, a book, and this one stood out. I think someone even actually said, you should make this a game. And so she did. So she submitted the first draft of it a couple of years ago, and we've been refining it ever since. And one of the things that I love about it is that kids love it, but I'm not embarrassed to say grown-ups adore this game because you can play it in 10, 15 minutes. It's got this nice, you know, head-to-head version. There's a lot of player interaction. A lot of people don't like deck builders because there's no player interaction. It's very simultaneous, solitary. Most deck builders, this one you do interact with other players. But there is a good amount of planning that has to go on to get to that final moment of the game where you draw that 5-card hand and there's no artichokes in it. So yeah, it really, I think it's firing on all engines, Abandoned All Artichokes. One of my favorite new games.